so excited to be sharing the things with you that I'm going to be sharing today, because I was just on an economic impact presentation that the local Chamber of Commerce was doing. And it was so sad to me, because what I saw was that we are right now in a time where we are in like an epic downfall. We are in an economy right now that is lower than we have ever seen. I'm talking the 2008 crash, which, you know, I had a business through, lived through that. The 1970s oil crisis, like we are lower numbers than we've ever seen. And what they called it was, they actually called it like astronomical, unforeseen, unknown times that we're living in. And the sad part about it was they were showing this graph, and I couldn't help but think, you know, that graph, yes, it's numbers. Yes, it's these things, but these are human beings we are talking about. And I don't know about you guys, but for me as an entrepreneur, as someone who serves people, as someone who shows up in this space, this online space, I care about people, and I care if the people out there are making money, if they're worried about, you know, whether or not some stimulus is going to kick in or whatever is going to happen. Like, this is real life stuff for me. And this just affirms to me, as I was watching this was around noon. It's now about 2:00 p.m. my time. And so, you know, as I'm watching this, it just really just lit up that fire for me, lit up that fire for that is why we're doing what we're doing here right now. Because, you know, 6 months ago, we were able to create these amazing online events where we were all in a room together and we're like, yeah, things are great. This is amazing. Woo. You know, we were able to do that. As a professional speaker, I've been traveling before this happened, for 9 months, being in rooms full of people that are energizing, that are like, you know, I'm showing up, giving 50% of my energy. They're showing up, giving 50% of their energy. And the amazing thing about that is that in those times, you know, like I'm feeding off people and I'm bringing a certain level of energy to the space. But now that we're in this 2D world, we're in this two-dimensional space. What happens is now, as a speaker, as a presenter, as someone who's doing workshops, whatever it is that you're doing in the online space, you're almost responsible now to bring 100% of the energy, to create the excitement, to create the energy, to create the space that we are needing to create now in this online space. So I'm going to share with you guys my screen here in a moment. And I want to hear from you guys. This is interactive. I don't know if you got my email before this event, but this is going to be an interactive time where we are going to be, it's not going to be me being a talking head, because I do that a lot in my business. I'm the talking head, la, la, la. This is about you. This is about taking the spotlight and putting it on you, because I want to empower you to be able to show up in the online space, to serve, to connect, and to create engaging, impactful online events so that you can continue to serve the clients you want to serve. You can create a space, an intention, and an energy, because right now, the online space before all this happened was an $8 billion industry. That means there's $8 billion out there circulating, waiting to get in your hands. Now that this has happened, I mean, we don't even have enough data to know what is going on. And, you know, we don't even know how much of a space this could create. And it's going to be a while before we're back in that place. So I want to hear from you guys in the comments. What kind of events have you done before this? Have you done any online events? Maybe not. So let me know in the comments, and let's do this. If you have done any sort of online event, we're going to play a little game called Step into the Circle If. So since we're in the online space and we can't step in the circle, I'll have you guys just do like some jazz hands or something. Like do some jazz hands if you've done this. Have you done any online events before? No? All right, yay! So this is exciting. We get to start with this clean slate. Get your notebooks out, because I guarantee you're going to walk away with so many ideas, and your mind will be blown by the opportunities that are available to you in the online space. And let me tell you guys, right after this happened, so we've been in lockdown in Oregon for 6 weeks now. We're into like week 6. I guess it's been 4 weeks since we've been in lockdown. But right as this was happening, I was coming back from multiple events. So I was on airplanes, a little bit afraid to travel, but I still went, was in these huge events with like 70 entrepreneurs. And I remember that right after I got home from California, I got back to Oregon and all of this happened. And right after this happened, I was supposed to be in Australia this whole month. I was supposed to be traveling, speaking, and, you know, these big events that I ended up losing quite a bit of money on, which is, you know, it is what it is. But I realized right when this happened that what I needed to do was quickly shift and pivot online and use the things I've learned in my business to create a very successful online business, use those things in a bigger way. So I created a 15-day in 3 days. My idea from idea to execution is really quick for me. I've learned how to do that in my business, and it's just, that's how I roll these days. So in 3 days, I created a 15-day event. From that 15-day event, I have profited, this is cash money in my bank, $45,000. This was not even my intention. I didn't make any offers off the back end. I didn't even sell at all. And from this 15-day event, I made $45,000. This is how quickly you can create income and you can reach the right people in your business that you need to reach in your business so that you can create a profitable business as well. So let me share my screen with you guys. So I want to welcome you to the 4 keys to create interactive, engaging, and epic viral experiences, or I'm sorry, virtual experiences. And I use the word experience because we've all been to those online events, right? We've all been to those events that are really boring and there's a talking head and you just sit there and you're like, when is this over? You're not present. You're bored out of your mind. Someone's sitting there monotone. They're, you know how it is, like all of those things that are just, you know, maybe not so much fun. So I want to help you create an experience where people are going to walk away actually remembering what it is that you want to teach them, actually remembering and taking action when they leave. Because I don't know about you, but I've definitely been in those events where I get so much information and I'm just like plummeted, and I walk away going, okay, I don't really remember what that was about, and what do I do from here? This is great that you share all this information with me, but how, I get this all the time, how do I actually create results? So I want to guarantee you guys that at the end of this event, you are going to know how to create an epic virtual experience. Epic virtual experience. It's going to be beautiful. So I want to check in with you guys. How are you feeling? Are you excited? Let me know in the comments here. Are you excited? What are you excited about? What are you hoping to learn? So as you're typing, I'm just going to go over the masterclass overview. So we're going to have our welcome and introduction, which we just had. I'm going to introduce myself here in a moment. We are going to be talking about facilitating in-person versus virtual experiences. We are going to talk about what makes an epic experience. We're going to talk about epic event flow outline, what's next, and then we're going to have a time for Q&A. But you guys can absolutely 100%, if you have questions come up, put it in the chat and I will either answer it right then, or we can come back and do that during the Q&A. So Fiona says, I'm excited to be here, hoping to learn about possibilities to either change a career or develop needed future skills. Yes, I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Jenny says, super pumped to be here. Woohoo, woohoo. I love it. Love the energy. This is amazing. Yes, whoop, whoop. All right, guys. So first off, we're going to start off with a few community agreements. Be present. This means turning off distractions. If you have your email open, make sure you're paying attention. Be engaged, because this is just as if you were sitting right in front of me. I would love for you to be engaged. You guys are already doing an amazing job. Be open, because I'm going to be teaching you guys stuff that you've probably not heard before. Some of these things maybe you've heard, but a lot of them are things that I use in my own business that I've created and used from years and years and years of business, marketing, sales, events, public speaking. This is all stuff that we are going to be talking about. And lastly, have fun, because that is why we're here. You could be doing a million other things with your Friday afternoon, but let's be honest, having fun is the number one goal. All right, my intention for today is to share some tips and tricks on how to create more engaging, interactive, and epic virtual experiences. You are going to walk away more capable, confident, and committed to creating epic virtual experiences. So if that sounds good, we will go on. So how do you create epic virtual experiences? First thing to do is, I'm going to be doing something a little bit tricky here during this event. I am not only teaching you guys, but I'm going to be showing you in real time. So as you notice, number one is to engage your people. So as you guys jumped on, I engaged you. I said hello. First off, I started off with a ton of energy. And you guys, I'm going to be honest with you, maybe not everyone has the energy that I have, and that's okay. But I get really excited. And like I said, I've been literally like in bed with a huge migraine for the last 2 days. So I'm really excited to be around people again. But engage your people, even if that's something as simple as showing up a little bit earlier. And the biggest thing that I tell my clients is that if you would do it in real life, figure out how you can translate that into the online space. So if you are in a room together with people, and I've seen this a lot since we've been shifting to the online space, where I jump on a webinar and like the person who's facilitating it isn't even there. Maybe they're away from their desk, or they're not even there like engaging and talking. And I'm thinking like, wow, if this was a real event, wouldn't you be going around like talking to the audience, meeting people, shaking hands, doing things like that? So if you're going to do it in real life, do it in the online space too. Figure out how to shift that. And I'm going to give you guys a whole lot of really fun ways to transition into that and how to do things, and maybe just give you an extra little idea on how to create that interaction when you're in this 2D, two-dimensional space that we're in. So number 2 is play with purpose. Adults love to play if they know there's a reason behind it, right? Especially women. We're always like, we want to figure it out. We want to know the why. We want to like dig deeper and investigate and know the why behind it. So if I was to tell you guys right now, okay, jump up and start dancing, you'd be like, okay. But if I was like, hey guys, so I know I've been throwing a ton of information at you, so let's just jump up and let's just shake it out real quick. Let's just shake it out. Like, let's get ready to learn. Let's shake it out. See, you're already doing it, right? So if you know the why behind it, play is so much fun. And here's a huge secret. So I'm a big brain science nerd, and there are so many studies that if you can engage your learning with play or with like body movements, you're going to learn so much better. So this is something that, look, if you've ever been to like a Tony Robbins event or, anything like that, like you'll notice that they have you get up and you're like jumping up and down and you're like shaking your booty and you're doing all these things because it actually helps you to learn. The next tip is to inspire action. Again, you guys, this is one of the biggest mistakes I see people do all the time. If it's a Facebook Live, if it's a webinar, whatever it is, if it's even like a post, you're trying to engage somebody, you can give people information, but if you don't inspire them to action, they're going to read the post. They might even like it or say, oh, you're so inspiring. But if you don't give them an action step to take, if you don't give them something to do with it, they're just going to sit there going, okay, so I have this beautiful cake or have this beautiful thing in front of me, but what do I actually do? And lastly, you want to connect the dots. You want to connect the dots. Whether if that's, if you're trying to inspire action, you want to create something where you're actually telling them, this is what you do with it. This is the how. So like, let's say, for example, if someone's doing a class about, or like a Facebook Live about how to take great selfies from home, right? Because this is something people are needing to do. I have a lot of clients who are influencers and they're like, oh my gosh, I have to take my own pictures now. And I'm running out of places to do it in my home because there's only so many places I can take a selfie, right? So if you're teaching someone, how to take a beautiful selfie from home, or how to, create beautiful copy. You want to inspire them to actually take action, and you want to connect the dots. Why is this important to them? Why? And if you guys remember to the beginning of this, I told you, I'm going to help you create epic events so that you can attract the right clients, so that you can start making the money that you deserve, so that you can serve people even in this time. So what I'm doing there is I'm connecting the dots. Like, why is this relevant to me? This is one of the biggest things that I see people lacking in, is that they have great products, they have great services, and they're not converting into sales because they're not telling people, why is this important to me? Why do I need this information? Why do I need this training? Why do I need this gorgeous photo? Why do I need this specific thing that you have to offer why would I need it? Connect the dots for them. I can tell you, a lot of people who work with me, they'll come to me and they'll be like, I just don't understand why people aren't buying from me, because I have this great product. I know I can make a difference. I know that I can do it better than other people out there in the world, but like, they're not connecting the dots with the right people. So make sure you're connecting the dots. How do you engage people? You are 100% responsible for creating the culture of engagement. So as you noticed, I sent out an email earlier with that expectation. I said, hey guys, this is going to be an interactive event. Please show up so we can see your face. Please engage. And I created that community expectation. Do you guys remember a couple slides back? I said, these are the expectations. Have fun, show up, be engaged. So you are 100% responsible for creating the culture. And this is true in everything. If it's your online event, if it's your brand, whatever it is. You can do that by creating Zoom rooms. And if that's something we can go on into, if you have any questions about it, email me, I'll help you figure that out. A Zoom room is a separate room. We only have a couple people on here right now live. I know there's people who will be watching the replay. But if we had more people, what we would do is we would break out into Zoom rooms where we would be in smaller groups, and you guys could each connect. And this is a really awesome way. I've done events where I've had up to, like 98 people. And what we did is we broke out into little rooms with 5 people in the rooms each, and then they were able to share with each other what their takeaways were. That's a great way to create engagement and culture, because I don't know about you, but when I go to an event, like a large event in real life, yeah, I'm there to see the speakers. Yeah, I'm there for the, whatever is going to happen. But one of the most beneficial things for me is the people I meet. So how do we create that? How do we create that culture and that community and that connection? The 3 C's: culture, community, connection. And that's how you do it. You create Zoom rooms, you create interaction, you prime people with your email. Like I said before, we talked about that earlier. How do you create engagement? Well, just like we used today, I said, everyone step into the circle if, and we did the little jazz hands, right? If we were in real life, I would have you guys jumping up, you'd be raising your hands, you'd be, whatever you guys would be doing. So this is how I've learned how to create the most engagement in the online space, is to use things like chat box, breakout rooms. You can create polls. Again, this is another feature that Zoom has. I know that you can use the Microsoft Hangouts. You can use that as well. You can there's a couple different platforms. My favorite is Zoom, 100%. But, there's different ways you can do that. You can do shared Google Docs. Like if you had information you wanted to share, you could do a Google Doc. There's also an option in Zoom where you can raise your hand and ask questions. There's free tools like freewebinar.com. If you're not, if you're a little bit more introverted, I have clients who only use phones. Like they'll use this device right here. They use their phone to do free webinar conferences, and they don't have to be seen on the screen if they don't want to. So there's a lot of ways to do this, and there's a ton of different things you can do to interact as well. Play with purpose. So this is one of my favorite things. I'm a very driven woman, and I know it can be really hard to remember to play. So I love to remind people to just have fun. Because for me, sometimes I show up a little bit over the top and I'm a little bit out there, because I've realized if I just show up and I'm who I am and I'm a little goofy and I'm a little bit, crazy, it gives other people permission to do that too. So always be willing to experiment, try new things. I used to be afraid to be myself in on Facebook Live or on YouTube, whatever it is. And then I remember one time I was just super pumped up. One of my clients had just had this huge epic month, and I was so excited, and I came on my Facebook Live and I was like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And if you've ever seen me, that's me. People loved it. I was experimenting, I was playing. And so next thing I knew, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to show up 100% who I am. And that's the thing, especially in this time, you guys. People want to know that there's a real human being behind these events. People want to know you, the messy, the real. I've had more fun with mentors of mine. I'm in very high masterminds, and getting to see these people in real life with their kid walking in and seeing their house behind them and seeing them real humans has deepened my connection with them in such a way that could have never happened if we were even if we were in a Hilton hotel together at a mastermind, seeing them human, real life, people want to know. And most important, what is the goal of your meeting? Always remember that. Because here's $1 million secret. Who you're being is far much more important than anything you're going to say, any information you're going to give, and any offer you're ever going to make. Who you're being and what your intention is, your goal behind what you're doing in every single moment is more valuable than anything. And when you can really sink into this, this is a big business secret here. When you can sink into that, you can end up doing way more than you'll ever do. Because that's something, for me, I don't know if I have ADD or whatever, but I can be all over the place and sit down, and next thing I know, I've gone down a rabbit hole and gotten nothing done, right? And or sit, if you ever have those days where you sit at your laptop all day and you're like, oh my gosh, what did I even do? I don't think I got anything done. One of the biggest shifts that's happened that's worked for me in my business has been, no matter what I'm doing, work in my intention first. And this has made my relationships richer. This has made every single thing I'm doing, because if I just have one intention, and even if I'm setting a timer for an hour, so for this hour, this is my intention. I do this with my clients all the time. We get on calls, Zoom calls, and we work together and we set an intention. And they'll make more sales in that hour than they will the whole week, because there's a defined intention. So always remember, what is your intention for your event? And do you want to inspire? Do you want to motivate? Do you want them to take action? Do you want them to play? Do you want them to, offer them a space and a container? Because that's what an event is. It's a container that you're creating. Do you want to create a container where they can just play and have purpose? So what is your intention? So a lot of ways that we can have play is dance parties. I love dance parties. I was just on a dance party last Friday night with, we ended up getting up to 250 people. It was so much fun. We were all on this Zoom call, just dancing away. It was crazy. It was fun. It was seriously the most fun I've had since quarantine started. You can do drawing contests, play virtual games. You can do things I was on an event where we all dressed up as superheroes. And that was so much fun. We just all showed up with, people did different virtual backgrounds. You can even do something wear a fun hat. Everyone show up wearing black. Everyone show up wearing pink. I don't know, whatever it is. Honestly, you can just create unity and create fun. And like, this also allows people to feel like they're a part of. If they're gathered together with one thing in mind, and it's kind of like, you know, they feel like they're a part of. So these are really fun ways to create play. Well, set your community agreements. So we did that right away. We set the tone and the expectation of how to show up. And as the facilitator, you are 100% responsible for the group experience. So you guys might be noticing a theme here as we go about. I'm going to stop the screen share real quick. You might be noticing there's a theme here that as the facilitator of an online event, you are 100% responsible for the energy and the culture, right? So if the way you show up and the intention is going to be huge. So with that, I would love for us to take a moment to just play a little bit. Are you guys ready to dance? Maybe just for a minute? All right. Got some Macklemore going on. Woo! Okay. Dance all those nerds out. Yeah. Return to the mat. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get about it instead of getting on the internet and checking the news. Are you guys having fun? Take it all out. Let's get those learning brains going. Shake it all out. Woo. All right, you guys are awesome. Woo! Who feels ready? So keep going. Yeah! All right, so are you guys getting lots of information out of this? Let me know in the chat. Are you learning lots? Or are you going to say yeah? Say yeah. Yeah, we're learning lots. All right, so who is feeling inspired to create some epic events so far? Epic events. All right, so let's keep on going. Connection-based activities. So two of my favorite things to ask is, what inspired you to be here? And what are you hoping to get out of today? I asked you guys that at the beginning. And what that does is that really sets the tone, because let's be honest, especially right now, we have kids, we have dogs, we have phones ringing, we have people who might knock on the door, we have, you know, 100 million things that could distract us when we're in this online event space. So what that does is that just really gets people centered and gets people in the connection of, hey, this is why I'm here. To create that intention, to solidify, why am I here? You know, I think that there's a lot of things that we do in this world that, like, we just kind of do it. We check a box. We get it done. We do it just to do it. We kind of are an autopilot. And so when we're able to slow down and think, why am I here? What am I hoping to get out of this time? That can really be something that could help you all throughout your life in any area of your business. Oops, I think I skipped one. All right, so let's hear from you guys. So far, what is your biggest aha, insight, or takeaway? And how will you apply this to an online workshop, coaching, training, one-on-one, in person? So the person with the longest name goes.
So I would say, really, like how you mentioned, I mean, obviously, it's obvious that you have to bring the whole 100%. Like, you have to be the one that's bringing everybody's excitement in. Because, I mean, like you said, if someone's just sitting there monotoned and talking through whatever's on the screen, it's not going to be very exciting and engaging. And you're going to get distracted, and you're going to, like, go to your email or go to, you know, scroll social media or something like that, because you're not as engaged. But just kind of reminding that. I didn't know, like, the Zoom rooms. So that's super cool to be able to kind of break people up. and to do the small group stuff to really get the engagement in with the people that, you know, the different people that are there, to have them engage with each other.
Yeah, the Zoom rooms are so much fun. Like I've been in, I've done them like in events I've done, and then I've also been a part of it. And it is so amazing because like there's some communities I'm in where like I didn't necessarily know some of the people. They weren't the ones that would be the ones that would speak up. You know, like me, like I would speak up, but like some of them were a little bit quieter. And when they shared their insights, I was blown away. And I was like, I want to know you more. Where have you been? Oh my gosh. So yeah, I love the breakout rooms. They're so much fun.
I was just going to say, I liked the Zoom rooms too. I thought that was a really great way to kind of make a bigger event smaller, because that's one of the things in real life you can do, because people naturally break off to their groups. But how do I do that virtually?
Yeah.
And the other thing I really liked was the authenticity part, that you still have to show up as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not like a big extrovert, don't try to be that. Just try to be yourself and create what works for you and is authentic about you. And I thought that was very cool. And that was very insightful.
Yes, 100%. I couldn't agree more because, you know, like I think a lot of people, because there's so much like in your face stuff out there these days, a lot of people think you have to show up like, blah, blah. But like, honestly, I mean, I have clients who, like I said, they are doing all of their stuff audio, like on the phone type webinars and events. And, you know, making money off of things like blogging, and you don't have to be an in your face, like energy type person. And if that's not real for you, it's going to show up. People will know. And for some reason, like they're not going to quite know why it doesn't feel authentic, but it actually creates distrust if you fake it. You know, there's like fake it till you make it, which I don't know, I could debate it two ways, but honestly, like your energy and you being authentic is so important, because people won't trust you and they won't quite know why, but they'll feel it's inauthentic, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good point. All right. Anything else? Any other takeaways you guys have so far?
I was gonna say too, just really quick, like with the connecting the dots, really make it obvious, you know, the why it's important to them and whatever it is that they're doing, but make it so over the top, clearly obvious. And it makes me think of, I have a 1-year-old, and so like trying to teach her things, I mean, you have to be really, really curious and kind of explain it. But I thought that
Seriously, yeah, like that is one of the biggest mistakes I see people do. And they're like, why am I not converting to sales? And I look at their stuff, whether if it's like a Facebook post or, you know, on their website or whatever, like, you guys have probably heard me say this before if you watch my Facebook lives, but like they're making it about them. Like, and this is something I have been so guilty of, like trying to prove yourself or like impress people by like, this is what I can do. This is what I can do. And honestly, like they don't really care. They want to know what's in it for them. They want to know why. Why do I need this? Why are you the photographer that I need? Like, how are you going to make me look? I just want to look good and not look like my stomach's hanging over my pants or whatever. You know, like people want to know why. They need you to connect the dots. Because the interesting thing is a lot of people assume that people just know, and we don't, right? Like this is relationship 101. Like I remember when I was young and thinking that my boyfriend should just know that I want him to pay attention to me, or you know what I mean? Like, but relationship 101, we all have different filters we're viewing things from. And we honestly like just need to hear what's in it for me. And that's what people are always thinking. If that's conscious or not, they're always thinking, yeah, but what's in it for me? What are the benefits? And this is something that I used to teach in my corporate job, was that, you know, a lot of times we're selling features. So like if I'm selling this phone, I'll say, it has this beautiful pink sparkly back thing. It's, you know, it has a great, you know, phone thing. It's large. It has a stylus. Like, I'm selling the features. But let me tell you, this phone right here, it's the a Samsung Note. And literally the guy is showing me these phones and I'm like, I don't want to spend that much money on a phone. Like, that seems ridiculous to spend that much money on a phone. But when he told me, oh, did you know that with this phone, you can have multiple apps open? And I was like, what? He's like, you can have multiple apps open and you can write on the screen. Like, you can actually, like, in your handwriting. And I'm like, oh, I could do a webinar on my phone. He's like, well, yeah, if you need multiple screens. And I was like, can you do YouTube and like another app? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, sold. I don't even care. Put it in the box, right? Like, I was thinking, what's in it for me? And let me tell you, this is like I'm not like sponsored by Samsung or anything, but like, this is the best phone I've ever owned in my life. And I never thought I would own like a giant phone, but oh my gosh, you know, like I'm constantly like, I'm not thinking about, at that point I was like, I don't even care what the cost is. Like, if I can open two different apps at once, like, this has been a life changer for me. Right. So people are constantly like, think about the last products you bought. Why did you buy it? And like, think about that. Like, what is the last, and when you think about online events, like, what is the last event you went to that you enjoyed? I hope it's this one. It might not be, but I hope it is. But like, think about that. Like, what was it that made you be engaged? And what was it that made you tune out? And for me, you know, honestly, usually it's a fun speaker who actually talks to me. It's not the talking head that's just giving me a bunch of boring facts and maybe a graph chart or whatever, and they're trying to impress me with all these words I don't even know what they're talking about. That's a boring event. Been there, done that. But, you know, just think about your own consumerism and how you buy things. And do that, because that's what's going to attract your right clients. You know, I have people that think I'm way over the top and have way too much energy and they can't even, you know, like, great, then they're probably not going to come to my events. If they know me, they're not going to come. I have people that love it. They're like, I just want to be in your space. I don't even care like what you're doing. Let's do this, right? Like, great. Those are my people. And that's who you want to attract. So never be afraid to repel the wrong people. This is one of the biggest fears that people have, is that they're going to repel their people. And I say, great, do it. Repel the wrong people, because those are not the people that are going to buy from you. It's not. The last thing you really want to focus on in your events is a powerful closing. And again, this is all about, people want to know, there's nothing worse than having a lot of great content and having an amazing online event, and then people don't know what to do next. So how do you apply the learning that you got today? How will you, or who will you connect with and follow up? Like, how will they get a hold of you if they want to know information? And what are the next steps? I see so many people making this mistake in their webinars, in their online events, that they get to that certain point where they're at the close and maybe they pull back, or they're not really sure how to wrap it up. And this is just something that comes with experience, but I can teach you guys how to do this today. Is that, they'll kind of be like, okay, great. Well, thanks guys. Bye. And then they wonder why they go to the back of the room, or they, get off their online event and nobody's reaching out to them. Nobody's buying, nobody's doing anything, because they don't know how. Again, this goes back to that idea of like, we need to connect the dots. What are the next steps? So I could tell you guys, yeah, this is how you create an online event. This is how you create an epic online event. And what do you do from here? So where do you go from here? There's a lot of different options. You can reach out to me. You can get on a call with me, which I will give you guys that information later. if you want to talk specifically about your business and how to go from here, then yeah, absolutely. I have some space open in my calendar. Let's get on a call, 20, 30 minutes. We can talk about, what's next for you, what's next in your business, what specific event should you do, because there's all kinds, like, I have people running 5-day challenges. And from that, like, I have one client who's doing a 5-day challenge that ends today. I haven't heard the results yet, but she had 100 people show up to that challenge. She advertised it for like a week. She had to get cash flow really quickly. So we created this event. She had 100 people. From that, she's going to be selling a 9-month program that's going to net her into the 7 figures. She's right now retiring her husband, and he's not having to work anymore. He's going to be her sales manager. Like, online, the way we're getting to shift right now, the way we're getting to pivot, like, I have people who are, one client I just started with was in healthcare. And, as you know, healthcare has shifted. It's gotten a lot different. And she's not wanting to go back after this. She's not wanting to continue in that space. So we are pivoting her online. She's doing a series of events that are positioning her in a brand new space based upon her experience, her knowledge, and what she has to serve the world. She's positioning herself. I have another client in San Diego that she's a massage therapist and a yoga instructor. And so she does, everything was shut down. They were shut down before Oregon was, and everything was shut down for her. And she got on the phone with me, panicked, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have all of these people who've paid me money, because she had ongoing payments. She's like, and I can't serve them. What do I do? Do I give them refunds? I don't know what to do. Like, I've never done this. And I said, great. It's not an either or. This is an and. What we're going to do is we're going to shift you online. You're going to continue to serve your clients. We created a new revenue for her in an online event that she did, and she sold 29 of those packages on the first day she released it. So right now she's making more money than she was because she's able to scale her business, because before it was dependent upon her doing exchanging her time for money, right? She was exchanging her time for money, and there was a certain amount of people she could have, because you can only massage one person at a time. You can only have a certain amount of people in your yoga class, but she's able to scale in a way that she's making way more money. Like, in the past 6 to 8 weeks, she's made more cash flow into her business than she did in the first 3 months of this year. So it's the opportunity we have right now, you guys, is so incredible. It blows my mind the way that the online events were able to scale and grow. And Fiona, I know that you were talking about change career or develop needed future skills. So what are you doing right now? Are you in the medical field?
I'm in fundraising.
Fundraising. Oh, nice.
So my job essentially has been stewardship and donor relations. So it's kind of nice. It's like thanking people.
Yeah.
But it's not, I'm not really getting anywhere in the company that I'm in, but I don't know what skills translate. Like, I don't know how to move the skills that I have and make them marketable for other things, or what the gaps are so I can go out and do other things. Have to sell that.
Oh my gosh, the possibilities for you. Yeah, people need fundraising right now more than ever before. There are so many nonprofits. I have a client who specializes in nonprofits. She does HR for nonprofits. They need fundraising right now more than ever, because of the fact that nonprofits are getting nothing at this time. There's not even options available for them yet. And I do ministry. I don't know if you knew that, but I do ministry as well. And like my church, we are not getting the tithes that we usually do. We're not getting, we need fundraising. We're trying to shift into that. So I might have to talk to you after this, but yeah, that is something that's needed right now more than ever. And I don't think that it's going to end anytime soon, because big events, like people getting together and actually being in the same room, it's going to take a while before people feel safe doing that again.
Yeah.
So a lot of nonprofits are, a lot of their income is based off of those big banquets and getting big time speakers in to raise events. So I could really see you, I don't know if this is something you'd be open to, but branching out into like an independent fundraising person for nonprofits or businesses, and then taking a commission from that.
Never thought of that. So thank you.
Yeah. Oh,
now.
sure. Yeah, I could see, I mean, I could see that happening easily. And the great thing about the market we're in now, we were in a global economy anyway, but what has happened is we've been forced to transition into a world that was already coming. And the possibilities for a global market for someone like you creating that type of service is endless. So let me share my screen with you guys again. We're getting to the final stretch, you guys. Are you excited? Does anyone need a drink of water or anything? Hopefully you brought your water. So what's next? Well, like I said, you guys are, let me share my screen here. Perfect. So what's next? Let's jump on a call. I have some space open up next week. I know it's Friday, and I've got some stuff going on this afternoon, but I have some space open up next week if you want to jump on a strategy call with me. I would love to talk more with you about anything that you have. I love business. I love helping you with strategy. So yeah, I would love to get you on a call. We would spend like 20, 30 minutes. It'd be really easy, real simple. And if there's any way that I think I could help you out, I would love to offer you that. And if there's any of my programs that would be beneficial to you, I may or may not make an offer, whether or not I feel like we would be a good fit. I honestly don't make offers to everybody just because, you know, at this point in my business, like I know who I can help. And if I can't help you, I'm going to give you a strategy. I always offer something, whether if that's a free training program or something that I can help you with. And if I don't think we're a good fit, then I can always refer you to someone as well if you needed more guidance or more help, because that's just, I live in integrity. So I never want to offer something that's not going to help. So you can go to this link here. I'll also email you guys the replay, and I'll email you this link. It'll go straight to my scheduling calendar, and you'll just answer a couple of questions so that I can get to know a little bit more about your business, and then you'll get on my calendar. So there are spaces open up next week to have you jump on with me, or you can email me as well at val@valnichols.com. Q&A, all about you guys. Do you have any specific questions that I can answer for you at this time?
So I feel a lot. So part of what I'm working on is I started an Etsy shop with my mom. We make little girl outfits, mostly dresses and stuff like that. I have the 1-year-old, so that's really, she's our model. But I mean, you mentioned earlier, like think about how your customers go about buying things and like treat it like that. And I feel like my husband always makes fun of me because he says I'm a marketer's dream, because I'm just like, oh, it's buy one, get one free. Like, of course I have to do it. Or buy two, get one free. It's like, well, duh, why wouldn't I do that? And so I don't know, sometimes it's hard for me to think of, I guess I'm very sporadic sometimes when I would buy stuff, especially something like that for her. It's like, oh, well, this is just super cute. Like it might not have been an intention to go and buy that specific dress at that point in time, but I don't know. And then kind of figuring out how I could do an online event,
Yeah.
you know, and showcase stuff like that. You can see my husband walking around.
So that is awesome. The biggest thing I would say with Etsy is you have to carve out your own brand. Because here's what's happened with clients of mine in the past who had Etsy, was the thing is that when people would buy, because you want to create a brand and brand recognition, whether if that's like with a specific tagline. I remember you have a brand name. You called it was like Swedish or Norwegian, or what was it?
Swedish. It's called Mor and Daughter, and it means mother and daughter in Swedish.
So make sure you're putting that front and center everywhere. Because here's the thing that's happened. And I've helped my mother-in-law has an amazing Etsy shop now. And she sells these just gorgeous jewelry. She's in New Hampshire. And the thing that was happening was when people would buy her stuff and they loved it, they would go on like Instagram or wherever, and they'd be like, I love this necklace I bought from Etsy.
Mm.
Right? Etsy, Etsy, Etsy. And she didn't understand why. She even had influencers with like tons of following that would wear her stuff. And she's like, I don't understand why I'm not getting sales from it. I'm like, because they don't know your brand. They're going to Etsy. And then if they pull up Etsy pearl necklace, like it's not going to go to your stuff.
Yeah.
So make sure first and foremost that you're carving out your own brand. Like make a big deal, tell this story, connect the dots, tell this story behind why it's the Swedish name, that it means mother and daughter. Create a lot of brand recognition first and foremost, because that's what's it's gonna connect the dots, just like we're talking. And then for online events, I think that honestly, like your options right now are endless. We're at home, play off that. Play off of it. You could have like a little runway show with your daughter, modeling your clothes, messy on your iPhone or whatever, like just totally like, this is me, it's quarantine, it's real. Let's be real. Right? I mean, look at like Jimmy Fallon. He's at home with those little hand. Yeah.
That's really
like,
cute.
Yeah. Like, and you know how moms are going to eat that up. Moms at home who are feeling the same way are going to eat that up. And honestly, like online events for you, like, especially with you being a photographer too, like you could end up creating partnerships with like Canon and, you know, all of these events and like have them send you free cameras. I mean, we can talk about how to build that later, but like, you know, you can partner with like things like stuff like that. And like, but really, I think right now for you to carve out a niche that you're real and you're raw and you're just a mom behind this brand and this is your daughter and this is why it's called Mother and Daughter, right? Like just be real and authentic. And even if it's just like a Facebook Live every Monday that you stream onto Instagram too, you could have like a live runway show every Monday at 11 a.m. and just let people know I'm going live at 11 a.m. to release the newest stuff. And that's how you create those people. Think about like Apple. They have people, not now because we're in the shutdown, but they have people like camped out in front of their buildings for a day before just to get the newest iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, like you want to create those raving fans. And so that consistency of every Monday I'm going live, I'm releasing new stuff. And you guys, there's only one of each of these. These are handmade, you know, what makes you unique? Connect the dots. These are handmade. There's only one, so you have to be on the live. Make sure you're on the live. And the first couple times, you might not have a lot of traffic, but once people get used to it and they see you're going to be consistent, they're going to show up. And I think it would be beautiful too to showcase you and your mom working together. You know, like even if you do like a 1 minute, I would challenge you to do like a 1 minute glimpse in your life every day. If you can pull that off, if not a couple times a week, a 1 minute glimpse of you sitting down, sewing with your mom or putting on labels or you being with your daughter, just a little 1 minute clip and put it on like your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories or whatever. And then like, just keep letting people know. And again, you don't have to like, I'm a true believer in authentic selling. You know, selling is serving. And even if you just say at the end of it, you know, don't even sell. Just like maybe twice a week or once a week, say, don't forget, we're going live on Monday at 11. People are going to love it. And you could even do like events. Like you could even do something like this where you invite people on and say, how to style your daughter during quarantine, how to keep your daughter cute during quarantine or whatever, you know, something like that moms are going to love. People are spending money right now like you would not believe.
Yeah, I saw someone post on Facebook the other day, or they shared a meme that was, it's 2:30 and I haven't bought anything on Amazon yet. Like, so proud of myself.
Yeah. People are spending money like you would not believe. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So I want to share with you one last thing. I am doing a launch and scale your business boot camp for those of you who are interested. If you're interested in learning more about any of this that we've talked about, this is now how to get people into your events. Because what we do in this 4-week profitable, it's about launching your most profitable idea. Because as you have discovered, no matter what your experience is, no matter what your situation is in this current moment, you can take what you know and you can make good cash off it. You can make, great offers. You can have people pouring into your events, buying from you. And here's the thing, if you don't have the right people in front of you, it's kind of like throwing spaghetti up against the wall. Like, how many of us have done that in our businesses? I know I have. Like, you're throwing spaghetti against the wall, just trying to figure out what sticks. So the secret behind getting your events full and then, making a profitable offer and creating beautiful offers is to know how to launch, scale, and get in front of the right people. So I do want to let you guys know about this last little event that I have coming up. Again, it's going to be 4 weeks. Here we go. The course is worth well over $555. I've sold it for this in the past. I am going to be offering it to you guys who jumped on this webinar today for just $177 is all. And this is going to be a live event. You're going to have me live 4 times. It's going to be a 4-week course. So each week I'm going to go live and I'm going to be training you. We're going to be in our own private group. So we're going to have Q&A. I'm going to give you specifics in your business, how to do this. What we're going to do is the course is going to run on Tuesdays from 3 to 4 Pacific time. So again, the recordings will be in the group as well. We're going to run from May 4th to May 29th. You can sign up today for just $177. And I have people who are already in this group who've paid a lot more than that, but I'm going to be offering that to this group because you guys hung in there. You're interested in creating epic events. What this is going to do is I'm going to teach you my exact launch model. I'm going to teach you the 5-day lead up because there's a certain series, if you do it the right way, which I'm going to teach you guys how to fill your events. And we have people who are going to be in there. We're going to be doing masterclass recordings. You're going to get all of those resources to have forever. So this will be something that you have for the long run. You're going to get all of the recordings afterwards, and you're going to be in a container with other women who are in the exact same space you are. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all doing this together. So you're going to be doing it in real time. This is an interactive course where I'm going to teach you and then you're going to do. So we're going to talk about, what do you do for the 5 days before your event? How do you connect the right people? Because connecting to the right people is going to be your biggest asset that you have. Because if you're talking to the wrong audience, you can talk till you're blue in the face and you're going to wonder, just like people ask me all the time, Val, why am I not converting? Val, people tell me they love my stuff. They say I'm inspiring. They say this, they say that, but they're not converting. Nobody's buying from me. How do I convert? How do I make sales from all of these people who are following me? So if you're interested in that, let me know. You can either email me, get a hold of me on Facebook. You can email me at val@valnichols.com and I will get you all that information. If you register before April 27th, which is Monday at midnight, so you might need to rearrange things. If you need a payment, we can absolutely do payments as well. I love to help people and work out ways that it'll work. So we can do a payment plan where it would just be like either you pay once today and then you pay another, like the other half in a month, or we can do weekly payments, whatever works best for you. So yeah, I definitely want to work with you and help you make this happen because this is going to be an absolutely amazing, if you've never been in a group coaching program with me, it's so much fun. Like, it is so much fun. It is a great container. And the beauty around it is you're not only getting me, you're also getting the rest of the group who's in it with you. And they're going through this together and you guys get to really cheer each other on, give each other feedback. I love sales. I love copy. I love writing copy. I love helping you with your copy. So that's something else you'll get as a benefit from that. And I'm going to teach you exactly how to do in an event or a challenge that's going to create a sales funnel for you. So you're walking away with buyers that are going to buy from you now, and also using a cycle that you can create, so you just lather, rinse, repeat, that you can use over and over and over, so that you're not just getting the sales now, you're going to have it forever. You're going to just keep, like, honestly, I do this exact method all the time. I just lather, rinse, repeat, lather, rinse, repeat. And what has happened is there's this continuous cycle. You create people from your cold market, which is what, Facebook, Instagram, all of that is just a cold market, into your warm market, into buyers. So you want to create that sales funnel. That sales funnel is so important, because if you lose the momentum, you have to start all over. So having a sales funnel in your business is the most important thing you can do. So again, if you guys sign up before Monday, you can get it at this price. Just let me know. I will absolutely get you that information. We powered through. We made it in about 70 minutes. I want to thank you guys for jumping on here with me today. I hope that you got a ton of great ideas, and that you are now going to be able to go out and create epic events. Remember, I know we covered a lot of stuff in here. I just want to remind you guys that, remember, you are 100% responsible for creating the energy, and you want to be authentic, and you want to show up in a powerful way that is going to connect the right people to you. And from there, the opportunities are endless. If you need anything, if you want to jump on a call, I'll put my link in the email as well. We can jump on a call next week and talk specifics about your business. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.